What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate, reverse rants, no hate. So let me jump straight into this one. Look, Claressa Shields, Savannah Marshall. This is a fight that I want to see, and I'm more interested in this fight than I am in most of the other fights that's going on. Like, be honest, I'm not really interested in Wilder versus his fight with Hellenius. I'm interested in Parker and Joe Joyce. And I feel like, truthfully, the winner of that fight, okay, I feel like the winner of that fight, that's who I think would be. Because it's a title, when you have title eliminators, man, it's one of those things where that's what it is with Hellenius and Wilder. But I'm looking at Parker and Joe Joyce. Here's two guys that has never fought Wilder, and I feel like that would be a fight amongst two of the elite guys in the heavyweight division. Wilder versus whoever wins. I mean, I expect Wilder to beat Hellenius. Now, like I said, you never know what can happen in the fight, but let's get rid of all the what if or you never know. Let's just say, based on what we see and understand of both fighters, I feel like Wilder should dispose of him in early. But we'll see. And pretty much, should he get past Hellenius, him versus Parker or versus Joe Joyce, those are big fights in the heavyweight division. Nobody cares about Wilder versus Hellenius. The fight itself, no. For people that they're just glad to see Wilder back in the ring, it's more of that. It's not because of Hellenius. Now, Hellenius, the few fans that he has is like, okay, cool. Maybe he'll pull off the upset or whatever. But at the end of the day, that's not a fight I'm looking forward to. I'm just looking forward to being over, so we get the result to see who's going to fight who. Now, hopefully, Wilder gets the job done, and I'm only saying that in that way because it's like, may the best man win. But at the same time, Robert Hellenius, should he win, then he earns his spot, and I'm pretty sure if he does, Wilder's going to want a rematch. And if he did it twice, well then, okay, guess what? Then he's that guy. Then that he earned it. But in terms of what you're looking forward to, unless that happens, then I'm looking at Wilder versus the winner of Parker and Joe Joyce. Okay, if that happens that way. But which is a swerve in it, and I'm not going to talk about it because I got another video coming out where I'm talking about the heavyweights and what I see. So it's going to be kind of connected with this, but that's not the direction I want to go. Other than that, man, I'm not crazy about Haney and Kambosos too, because I just think it's going to be the same result. Only because it was honored in the contract. That's why they're having the second fight. So it's false when people are saying, "Oh, Haney just chose him because he knew he could be." He knew he could beat him before the first fight. He was confident he could beat him. Kambosos was the ones put these stipulations that they fight twice in Australia, and he's getting the lion's share of the money even in the rematch. Okay, so that's Kambosos doing. Can't blame Haney. He's supposed to forfeit his titles. Let his titles get stripped because he don't want to honor what he said. The man, he's keeping his word. Shields versus Marshall. This fight, I want to see. I wish they could just do their own interviews without an interviewer. Johnny Nelson, he had a job to do. Shout out to him. But man, I get sick of hearing these same questions over and over and over. Every single person that interviews both ladies asks the same questions. Like, it has to be something else you want to know other than what you're asking. Like, really, between the two of them, I'm watching the face-off. Now, I don't care about who you want to win, who you like better, who you don't like. I don't care about any of that. I don't know these people to like them and not like them. There's certain things I can like that a person projects to us or respect what they do and things like that. But I don't know them personally, okay? Regardless. And for the people, oh, Claressa is just brass, loud mouth American. Fuck you and fuck you. Because so am I, an American. And if that's how you view Americans, because uh, pretty much you see confidence in a person and they're not sitting here feeding into what you're saying and want to answer questions the way they think you want them to answer it, you go jump off a building with that nonsense and keep the racist, stupid comments to your fucking self. Simple. Because there's nobody more brash than Tyson Fury and fucking Conor McGregor. But yet it's okay for them to be, oh, that's just Fury being Fury. Oh, that's just McGregor being McGregor. But because Claressa Shields is confident in herself, she's just a big mouth black American. Fuck you and fuck you, like I said. Okay. And that's directing at the racism. I don't care about because you like her or not. But that racist shit, nah. Don't talk shit about make it about nationality on some racist shit. But then come on my channel talking about, hey, thumbs up. No, fuck you, because I don't deal with, I don't support that shit. And y'all have heard me address that before. Whether it was a black person saying it or not, y'all know that. But you as fans, so-called fans, coming with this old big mouth, loud American shit, like I said, go screw yourself. Now, listen at the two of them. This is what I see. Okay. I don't see Savannah being as confident as her words. I feel like Savannah is trying to convince herself to believe what she's saying. And I believe that what bothers her about Claressa Shields is she knows Clarissa's not afraid. That she's not intimidated and don't give two shits about her power. Whereas when you have people catering to that, oh my God, she hits so hard. Oh, when she hits a person, this and this. And you have fighters who will acknowledge that a person hits hard to the point they show fear of it. Like, yeah, I know, when we come in to fight, you can punch. I just got to be careful. And they're talking as if they're worried of the danger. Okay. When I listen to Claressa Shields, I don't hear overconfidence. I hear supreme confidence in a person that is not taking, it's possible I can lose mentality. We can say it's possible that she can lose. She's the one in the fight. Because if I'm fighting somebody, I don't fuck you. I don't care what you say. Nobody gonna beat my ass. I'm not sitting up here, oh, well, yeah, it's possible. No, you don't think like that. Okay? Maybe if Anthony Joshua had Claressa Shields' attitude, maybe he'd still be undefeated. Okay? And remember, wasn't it you guys that was talking about how Anthony Joshua doesn't have confidence? And I see the same shit in him. Remember the interview that Anthony Joshua had? And the guy asked him, do you think you'll lose one day? And he said, I'll lose. Yeah, I'll lose. But, it's not the fact that you lose, it's the way you come back. Some of the greatest champions of all time have losses, but it's the way they bounce back. Remember, he said that. I'll lose. He accepted it before it even happened. Yeah, I'll lose. As if it was just inevitable. Claressa Shields can be supremely confident, and it's still possible that she might lose. You understand? It can happen. But as a fighter, you're not going there thinking that shit. You don't accept that. As a team, if I'm in her corner, this is what I want her to feel, and this is what I'm going to feel. Because I see the skills, I understand what she can do, and I'm letting her know. You don't ever think anybody can beat you. Ask Mike Tyson, ask Sugar Ray Leonard, ask any great fighter, and they'll tell you, man, motherfucker, they can beat me? Shit, nah. You're supposed to feel like that. What I see in Claressa, she really believes and feels in her heart, you can't beat me. Nobody can. In MMA, she's saying, I'm still learning and I'm adjusting, but like she clearly said, she wouldn't fight Amanda Nunes right now. She's too green. She knows that. Boxing is different. Okay, Michael Jordan was the greatest in basketball. What that got to do with baseball? So because he wasn't that good in baseball, all of a sudden, he suck at basketball? No, one has nothing to do with the other. When it comes to boxing, she's supremely confident in herself. And that's part of where she is with right now. Look at AJ. He got power. Okay, he got decent speed if he wants. He has speed if he wants to. He just doesn't throw his punches with confidence, so he doesn't know how to throw them rapid fire combinations. He lacks what Claressa Shields has. He lacks determination. He lacks confidence. And the reason he lacks determination is this. AJ has heart, I believe, to fight any of those guys. But he's not determined to go in the ring and put things together other than what he just see in front of him. He doesn't think outside the box. He doesn't have the confidence to do that shit. If you study people's body language, notice how when they asked Claressa Shields, when Johnny Nelson asked Claressa Shields a question, she didn't answer it the way he wanted her to answer it. She answered it the way I say, like from the heart, like, no. I didn't like when he asked about losing, what if you lose? Ain't no what if I lose. She's, I don't even answer questions like that. I don't think like that's not happening. Hey, I'm not going to lose. Right? What did she tell Savannah Marshall? She's like, I don't even believe that. She's like, when you believe something, you say what you mean. And she's like, I'm whooping your ass. She ain't about shit talking. I noticed every time they asked Savannah Marshall a question, she had to pause. Now, you sitting there staring at Claressa Shields and then start smiling. She can't answer the questions right away. Everything is, I got to think about it first. Right? That's not confidence. Okay? And that psychotic shit, smiling, speaking with the soft voice, doesn't change anything. That's what I said I wish they could just talk without the interview. Because I really feel like between the two of them, they're two solid fighters. And they keep bringing up the fight from the Olympics. And it's like, you know, every same questions. Does it still bother you, the loss from 7? No, it's not about it bothering her. It's the fact that y'all keep bringing that up as if that's Savannah Marshall's biggest accomplishment is that she beat Claressa Shields in the fucking amateurs. But then, as pros, when y'all talking, it's like you're overlooking Claressa Shields' accomplishments because you keep bringing up what happened then. But then you keep talking about Savannah's power. They never talk about her skills, right? And this is why I'm saying as interviewers, when you guys are then asking these questions, it's like you're trying to stay neutral instead of just doing your fucking job. What Claressa Shields feel about Savannah and what Savannah feel about her. How it plays out in the ring is what's going to matter. But at the same time, you holding on to what happened between the two of them and then asking that you ask Claressa Shields, is she angry about what happened back then? Then you ask Savannah Marshall, is Claressa Shields angry about it? It's like, how the fuck is she going to answer a question for her? So the same way you're trying to, it's like the interviewers try to play mind games a little with the fighters. And, you know, she basically was repetitive in her responses. And I'm just like, all right, so Claressa just need to do what she's doing. Keep that same mindset. But Savannah, hopefully for her, she don't let what these people saying put pressure on her to feel like she has to go perform for them. You know, I want to prove them wrong. I don't want to embarrass myself and lose and sit because she's very quiet. But when she speaks, I'll stop ya. I'll help ya. And I'll stop ya. And I'm like, okay, sounds good. But that's all you keep saying. And basically, she had nothing to say on her own. It was all just basically, let me answer the question. And it sounds like she was trying to answer the questions the way she thought they wanted, but she just couldn't find the words. When something's in you, it's just in you. You don't have to be a big talker. It doesn't matter. But you keep saying you'll hurt her and you're going to stop her. And that's all you're saying. And she told her, I'll box you and I'll hurt you. Yeah. Because she's trying to, she don't want to look like she's getting embarrassed sitting there. But she basically got owned in that face-off. Claressa owned her ass in that face-off. So I'm sitting here like, it's not about who's talking shit. Claressa is even addressing her like, you don't even believe what you're saying. Every time they asked Savannah Marshall the question, what did she do? She paused for a long time, look at Claressa and smile. And I'm like, the fuck is wrong with you? Like, so I'm like, you know what? All right. I kind of got like, it's like after I don't want to see any more talks between the two of them in front of a microphone and being asked. I don't even care about that. I just want to see the fight. Claressa Shields said, I don't like her as a person. And basically, this is a little bit as personal and as business. Savannah said it's all business, right? Savannah was the one who said, okay, she agreed to shake hands. See, Clarissa's like, all right, look, whatever, what you want to do, right? This is what I say to people. When you guys hear me saying, even when I was talking about Fury and Wilder, and I said, man, if Wilder really truly feels that Fury did the things that he said, why would he shake his fucking hand? And after Wilder accused Fury of those things, if Fury is innocent, why would he want to shake Wilder's hand? Somebody sit here and say I'm a fucking rapist. You think that I'm gonna sit up here and want to shake their hand? They never apologize and realize they was wrong. With the last thing they telling the world I'm a fucking rapist and I'm gonna sit up here and shake your hand because sports. Nah, hell no. I'm liable to break your jaw, man. You gonna walk up to me, you want to shake my hand? You done told everybody. So I guess I'm not the most sportsman like guy when it comes to people saying bullshit. Then call it what you want, but I'm not an ass kisser. So to say those things and then now we gonna shake hands, and then 2 days later let's have a video chat and start talking shit about no, because this is what these fighters do. 1 minute they hugging and embracing and saying yo big respect, then the next minute they're in front of a camera trying to tear you down verbally. So she's being honest. She don't like him. Same with Jamel Charlo, plain and simply say he don't like Tony Harris. I don't like the dude, right to his face in the ring. I don't like the dude, this and this and that. Like you said, he got a family to take care of. I got a family, but personally, I don't like the dude. Now, for whatever reasons, we don't have to agree and understand. I don't even care that deep. Like I always say, people don't have to dislike each other to go in there and fight. And basically, what Claressa Shields said before, pretty much she's like, the loss don't bother her. She said, I was 17 years old. I'm way better now. And I look at what I've accomplished since then. If anything, that fight motivated me. She said what she don't like about it is the fact that people keep bringing it up and they keep trying to compare her and Marshall like they're equals because of something that happened then. And she knows that if Savannah Marshall had her accomplishments, all these different unified in 2 different divisions, multiple champions, different weight classes, if they're going crazy over her about having 1 belt, if she accomplished what I accomplished, do you think that I could stand up here and people would look at me as an equal to her? Which makes all the sense in the world. And that's the same thing. Let's go back to Devin Haney type situation. Here he is at 135, undisputed. People are asking, is he undisputed? What you mean? Even if you ask a potential opponent and this dummy says no, how stupid can you be? You understand what I'm saying? Nobody asked if Lomachenko was undisputed. It was telling he's undisputed, and he wasn't undisputed. He was unified. The same with Teofimo. People like Max Kellerman. Teofimo is undisputed. No, he's not undisputed. Because this is a 4-belt era, not 3. And he didn't have all 4. Neither did Lomachenko. But when Devin Haney gets it, is he undisputed? So, Pacquiao, 8th division champion. He's greater than Floyd, even though Floyd beat him. You understand? Your goals is not like, okay, he beat him, so I'm going to go fight him and beat him. Who he fighting next? Oh, he beat him? So, I'm going to go fight. Oh, he got a belt? Now I got to go get... No, that's not what that is. You're not trying to mirror your career after somebody else's. You want to be the best you can be. At some point, our paths are going to cross. That's just the nature of it. Okay? But looking at these 2 women, I feel like, first off, the women division, women's boxing is not that deep in terms of like really highly skilled fighters. Back in the day, when Christy Martin had the belt, when she was a champion, people praised and made a lot of noise about Christy Martin. And I believe she earned those accolades. But she still was pretty much fighting at a time when women's boxing just wasn't that deep. By the time Layla Ali came along, it still wasn't that deep. It's just that you had like Joe Frazier's daughter was fighting, George Foreman's daughter was fighting, and all this. Then when Layla and Christy Martin, before they fought, people were saying that this is probably going to be Layla's first loss because Christy is highly skilled. I mean, Layla, she has some talent, some speed, has some pop in her punch, but Christy Martin is just this and this and this. This was the people. You guys know you can go on YouTube and look at this up. This was the people, the commentators, even the fans. People just, oh yeah, Christy Martin, man. Yeah, the farmer's daughter, boy. Yo, she this, she this, she this. Okay, yeah, give her accolades, give her props. But after Layla beat her, don't pull that she was too small bullshit or she was old bullshit, because y'all not saying that now. Soon as Layla beat her, oh, she was too small for Layla. Oh, she was in his light here. You know, y'all are so typical and so predictable. Plain and simple. Okay. From that time all the way to now, the women's boxing still isn't deep like that. My point, what I'm about to get to, is simple. For the people that say, yeah, Claressa Shields, she accomplished a lot, but you gotta understand, women's boxing ain't deep. Motherfucker, who you think you talking to? What the fuck do you think I don't understand? So my question to you, if she accomplished all of what she accomplished, and her and Savannah been fighting, turned pro at the same time, then who the fuck is Savannah Marshall fighting that's so special? You understand what I'm saying? So the same way, it's women's boxing. It's just not deep. So you fight the best fighters that's available to you. Simple. Otherwise, it's unfair and it makes no sense to sit here and talk about it's not deep, to try to throw shade on one. Then you throwing shade on both, whether you realize it or not, because women's boxing is just not that deep. And when you look at the fighters that get some shine, they're all in different classes. It's not like they're even close in weight classes. This is why Claressa had to go up and down and do what she did. Now, because Savannah Marshall didn't do it, that's her choice. But you can't sit here and say, oh, well, I know for a fact Savannah would have beat them same. Maybe, maybe not. We don't know that. But Savannah had no interest in doing that. Now, did she? So you got to give props to both fighters. But at the same time, let's not sit here and act like we don't know who's more accomplished. Then you say, Johnny Nelson asked Savannah Marshall, is she a star? Right? She goes, yeah. She says, are you a bigger star than Claressa? She says, I will be. So you answered the question by saying, I will be. No, I'm not right now. Bottom line, that's what you're saying. 2, you asked, was she the GOAT? She goes, no. Claressa says, who are you? She just sit there and smile. Looks. Then I think she slipped her. Yeah. And she laughed at it. She's like, what she say? Something girl boo or whatever, some shit. But she like brushing off like, please. Wait a minute. You can't possibly say shit about Claressa Shields saying she's the GOAT. She's accomplished more than Savannah. And then Savannah says, no, she is. But then she says she's not as big a star. Johnny Nelson says, is Claressa Shields the A side? On paper, she is. So wait, you're saying no, she's not. On paper, she is. But then they ask you, are you a bigger star? You say, I will be. So that's a contradiction. No, she's not on the A side. Okay, so if she's not the A side, you're saying you are. Then he asked her, you know what to say. When she says on paper she is. Okay, well, on paper, that means that everybody agree that you're not the A side. You're not as accomplished. You're not the A side. And here's the thing. That's what I'm saying about answering questions where you think you're saying what they think you should say versus speaking from what you really feel. Now, saying that you will be once you beat her, okay, cool. All the talking is not going to change what's going to happen in the ring. But see, what I wanted to really point out, I already did that. What people don't understand the difference between confidence, okay, and ego. If all you have is a puncher's chance, then that's your chance. But if you never get a chance to land that punch, or if you do land and they just keep, but all of a sudden they don't go down, it's like, oh shit. But what happens when you getting hit? And even if you ain't going down, you getting hit. You don't like getting hit, and you getting hit a lot. And every time you try to do something, you getting hit. It's like, you understand what I'm saying? You realize, okay, I thought I could beat this person, but, and I'm saying this because everybody's supposed to think they're going to win. But at the end of a fight, when you speak that, you know, and the same thing go for both fighters, okay? What I'm saying is, when you lose a fight, okay, and you said you was going to win, you promised the world you was going to win, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, right? You always got to look at yourself. What made you think you could win? Not just because, well, I'm going to the ring to fight just like him, but no, what is it about you? Are you faster than that person? No. Are you technically better? No. Do you have better reflexes? No. Do you have better footwork? No. Do you have a better ring IQ? No. Do you hit harder? Yes. Do you think you have more heart? You're going to say yes to all of those other questions. What inside? I got more heart, determined. How do you fucking base, but what do you base that on? So the difference in what I'm saying is this. You have some people that know they got that grit, the go. They got that dog in them. Then you have some people that think they have it in them, but they never had to really tap into it. Then when you have to tap into it, the person is so good that you can't do what you know you want to do. It all can come into play. Case in point, power alone is not enough. I've said this years ago and I'm saying it again. I'd have to see it to believe it. There's no way she outboxes Claressa Shields. No way. No way. Her only shot, as far as what I see, is to knock Claressa out. At the same time, you can never look at a person and say, oh, she don't knock people out, so she ain't gonna knock me out. To where, because you are now people not thinking, maybe she's overconfident thinking Claressa can't hurt her. But you know what's funny? When Johnny Nelson asked Claressa, do you think that you can take a shot? Or how do you know? She said, I don't think she can take my shots. Savannah just sat there. And I'm seeing if she's going to dig into how many people you knocked out. Because let's not forget, Tyson Fury, he's Mr. Pillow Fist. What happened? He knocked out. The crazy thing is, the knockout artist got knocked out by the one guy who he said couldn't punch. It doesn't matter if it's a knockout or if it's a decision. A win is a win. But these two fighters, man, I look at them and I said, this is a fight that could have happened years ago, but it didn't. It's here now. But this is a fight, like I said before, it doesn't need any fake beef, no hyped up this, that, or whatever. But at the end of the day, if you don't like a person, you don't like a person. And that's going to help you to go in there and really put it on them. And see, my thing is, win, lose, or draw, you go into a fight knowing this is going to be my night. I'm ready to go through the trenches to get it done. When you're used to knocking people out and then you can't knock this one person out, it could work against you. And I'm only bringing these things into play because people just keep talking about power. And they keep talking about how Claressa don't knock people out. Same shit they talk about Devin Haney, but look at Devin Haney's accomplishments. And this is the whole point of what I'm saying. He don't have to knock people out. Claressa don't have to knock people out. But notice nobody walked through their punches. So at the end of the fucking day, there's something behind them shots that's making people go, okay, let me stay my ass on the outside for a minute. I mean, and that's one of the things I looked at. I look at the people that Savannah Marshall fought. And one thing I will say, nobody praised the fighters that she's beaten. But I've heard people praise Hannah Gabriels and what's the other chick that Claressa beat. But at the end of the day, it's what I'm saying. We know that the female boxing is not deep. But people are like, oh yeah, she this and she that. People even tried to make excuses. Just certain fights, even when you get knocked down as a fighter, okay, you got dropped, cool, all right, caught me, good, I'm up now, let's go. It's not the end of the world, it's a fight. I like Savannah Marshall as a fighter. I like Claressa Shields as a fighter. But let's just be real, man. When you start trying to make it seem like this person is as accomplished as you are, to try to make the fans think it's a 50-50 fight because you don't want to give a person credit. See, that's what people are overlooking. You're trying to make it seem like they're on the same level, but then Johnny Nelson says they all know. They know she's not as accomplished. But the way people treat situations, that will, and then when you feed into it, that's why I said before, as a fighter, if it's me and that's it, and I don't like to put myself to say if it was me, but look, if I beat somebody over a decade ago, motherfucker was 17 years old on top of that, and we fight now as pros. I'm like, hey, look, that was then, this is now. We're gonna see where we stand now. I'm coming to win, he coming to win. Something gonna go down. We gonna fight. I ain't coming to get my ass whooped. I'm coming to whoop his ass. But we gonna see how I go. But I'm coming to win. Simple. What happened then ain't got nothing to do with now. Jorge Gonzalez, he beat Riddick Bowe and Lennox Lewis in the amateurs. Both of them. What happened when they fought in the pros though? Henry Tillman beat Mike Tyson twice. What happened when they fought in the pros though? And the one fight that we never got as a pro, I remember Aaron Pryor. You know, him and Thomas Hearns fought. You know, he beat him in the amateurs. And the same thing. Hearns is 17 years old. They never got a chance to do it again in the pros. You know, they always talk about Aaron Pryor versus Leonard never happened. But yeah, Pryor versus Hearns never happened. And the pros. And every time when you talk to Pryor, if they even said something about Hearns, he always brought up how he beat him in the amateurs. Okay, that was then. It's the same shit. That was then. And that's why I'm saying for Savannah Marshall, when she was saying at the other press conference they had about, the kickoff press conference, how, it bothers you. And she was trying to get under Claressa Shields' skin, but it's like, if it, bothered her to the point where, if it bothered her, I'm sure when it happened, yeah. But after all this time, you think she's still worrying about something that happened at 17? Like I said, look at what she's accomplished, right? That's why I say, as a fighter, you'll say, man, listen, what happened then happened. That's why when Peter Fury said it, I'm like, nigga, it don't mean shit now. What happened then? This is different. That's the whole point. Because then you making a statement to the people. Listen, y'all, I beat her in the amateurs. That was the accomplishment that I accomplished that then. This is the pros now. This is where we are now. This is what I'm focused on. I'm coming to kick her ass now. I ain't living off what I did to her in the past. This is right now. I'm going to kick her ass again. That's what it's about. But when you just keep talking about what you did with other fighters or you haven't done this, you haven't, but then you admit she's the face of boxing. It's like, that's my point. You don't seem as confident as you try to pretend. And like I said, because she's soft-spoken and all that, that's cool. That's cool. But all that, the quiet ones and the deadly ones, now, all that cliche bullshit. I just want to see these two go at it. May the best lady win. Simple as that. But all these stupid questions that people ask is so repetitive. And it's just like watching these conferences is like, man, I'm so bored watching. Like, just the same thing. I promise you, there's times when he's asking questions, I know I can finish the sentence for him. I know what he's like. What did you just watch every other interview? And then I'm gonna write down, I'm gonna ask them same questions when I talk to them. It's like, come on, man, it's the same shit over and over and over and over. And people say, yeah, but you gotta remember, it's new people that might sit. So fucking what? These videos are up here, they ain't going no fucking where, man. Unless you talking about Harold Sconia versus Deontay Wilder or some shit like that. But otherwise, those videos ain't going nowhere. They're here for everybody to see, man. At the end of the day, this is one of the fights, that I'm anticipating that I want to see. And at the end of the day, man, it just, I want to see something so different in boxing. Y'all, I'm being honest with y'all. I get bored doing these videos a lot of times, man, because I'm sitting here and I'm watching and it's just like, all right, so I'm gonna talk about this one. A lot of shit I just skip, but just repeating what these people are saying and what's going on is kind of like, all right. So anyway, that's all I got for y'all right now. 2 of the top females out there, they don't need, all this keep bringing up what happened fucking over a decade ago and all this bullshit. And man, that was then. Focus on what they're going right now. Yes, somebody's the A side, somebody's the B side. All that can change. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. But bottom line is, I want to see a good, solid fight. And like I said, may the best lady win. Catch y'all on the next one. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people, and I will catch y'all in the next video.